The air crackled with anticipation. The atmosphere was electric, a palpable tension that seemed to vibrate through every fan in the stadium. You could feel the collective heartbeat of the crowd, each pulse synchronized with the ticking clock counting down to tip-off. Game 4 of the Warriors-Rockets series was about to tip off. The players took their positions, eyes locked in fierce determination. The referee held the ball high, ready to set the game in motion. This was more than just a game. It was a clash of titans, a battle for supremacy. Golden State led 2-1. They had shown their dominance in the previous games, but the Rockets were not a team to be underestimated. Every player knew the stakes, and the Warriors were determined to extend their lead. The Chase Center roared with the energy of a city hungry for a championship. This game was pivotal. The fans were the lifeblood of the arena, their cheers and chants creating a wall of sound that echoed through the rafters. It was a fortress of support for the home team. A win would put the Warriors in the driver's seat. They would be just one game away from clinching the series, a step closer to their ultimate goal. The players knew this, and their focus was razor-sharp. Every play, every pass, every shot was executed with precision. A loss would shift the momentum back to the Rockets. They were a team with their backs against the wall, fighting to stay alive in the series. The pressure was immense, but so was their resolve. They had come too far to let it slip away now. The stage was set for an epic showdown. The noise was deafening. Both teams were ready to leave everything on the court. The intensity was palpable, a storm of emotions swirling around the arena. This was the kind of game that legends are made of. Both teams were ready for war. Every possession mattered. Each dribble, each pass, each shot was a potential game changer. The players moved with a sense of urgency, knowing that a single mistake could cost them dearly. Every shot could be the difference between victory and defeat. The tension was unbearable, the stakes higher than ever. The crowd held its breath with every shot, every rebound, every fast break. It was a game of inches, and every inch counted. This was playoff basketball at its finest. The level of competition was extraordinary, the skill on display breathtaking. It was a showcase of athleticism, strategy, and sheer willpower. Both teams were pushing their limits, testing the boundaries of what was possible. The Warriors had a point to prove after their Game 2 loss. They had regrouped, refocused, and were now playing with a chip on their shoulder. This was their chance to show the world that they were the team to beat. The Rockets were desperate to even the series. The pressure was on. They had studied their opponents, adjusted their strategies, and were ready to execute their game plan to perfection. This was their moment to shine. Fans on the edge of their seats. Every play was a roller coaster of emotions, a wild ride of highs and lows. The tension in the arena was almost unbearable, a testament to the stakes of this pivotal game. This was more than just a game. It was a test of character, a measure of resilience, a battle of wills. The players were not just fighting for a win, they were fighting for their legacy. It was a battle for survival. Every player, every coach, every fan knew what was at stake. This was the essence of playoff basketball, where every moment mattered and every second counted. The journey to the championship was fraught with challenges, but it was these moments that defined greatness. Stephen Curry, the baby-faced assassin, was locked in. From the moment he stepped onto the court, you could see the fire in his eyes. His focus was unwavering, and his determination was palpable. Every move he made was calculated, every glance purposeful. His eyes burned with determination. It was clear that he was on a mission, not just to score points, but to lead his team to victory. He might not have had his highest scoring night, but that didn't matter. What mattered was his ability to influence the game in so many other ways, but his presence was felt throughout the game. He was constantly directing traffic, making sure everyone was in the right place at the right time. Curry orchestrated the offense with precision. He found open teammates with ease, threading the needle with pinpoint passes. He drew defenders like moths to a flame. They couldn't afford to leave him open, and that created opportunities for his teammates. His leadership was on full display. He was constantly encouraging his teammates, pushing them to be their best. Curry was the engine that drove the Warriors. His energy was infectious, and it spread throughout the team. Even when his shot wasn't falling, Curry never lost faith. He knew that his value went beyond just scoring points. He continued to make the right plays, setting up his teammates for success. His vision on the court was unparalleled. His basketball IQ was off the charts. He saw things before they happened, always a step ahead of the defense. Curry's leadership extended beyond his offensive prowess. He was a coach on the floor, guiding his teammates and making sure everyone was on the same page. He rallied his teammates on defense, making sure they were locked in and ready to make stops. He communicated every screen, every cut, making sure everyone knew their assignments. Curry was the heart and soul of the Warriors. His passion and dedication were unmatched, and it inspired everyone around him to elevate their game. The Warriors welcomed back Jimmy Butler. He had been sidelined with an ankle injury. His return was a much-needed boost. Butler brought a level of intensity and toughness that the Warriors had been missing. He attacked the basket relentlessly. He guarded the Rockets' best players. Butler was a force to be reckoned with. His presence injected new life into the Warriors. Despite not being at 100%, Butler played with heart. He sacrificed his body for the team. His determination was contagious. Butler's return shifted the momentum in the Warriors' favor. He was the missing piece they needed. His impact went beyond the box score. Draymond Green, the heart and soul of the Warriors' defense, was everywhere. He barked out orders. He switched on to guards and centers with equal tenacity. Green was a one-man wrecking crew. He shut down driving lanes. He contested every shot. Green was a nightmare for the Rockets' offense. His defensive IQ was unmatched. Green's impact went beyond his individual defense. He communicated rotations. He helped his teammates get into the right positions. Green was the quarterback of the Warriors' defense. His energy and intensity were infectious. He inspired his teammates to play harder. Green was the anchor of the Warriors' defense. Section 5. The Shot Clock Debacle. Controversy struck early in the game. The shot clock malfunctioned, going unnoticed for a significant stretch. It impacted several possessions. The officials were scrambling. The situation caused confusion and frustration on both sides. The Warriors were particularly aggrieved. They felt robbed of potential points. The shot clock issue added another layer of intensity to an already heated game. It was a reminder that even in the playoffs, things don't always go according to plan. Despite the controversy, the game went on. Both teams tried to put the incident behind them. But the shot clock debacle remained a talking point throughout the night. Section 6. Emotions run high in a back-and-forth battle. The game was a roller coaster of emotions. Lead changes, momentum swings, and big-time shots kept fans on the edge of their seats. The tension was palpable. The Warriors built an early lead, but the Rockets fought back. Neither team was willing to give an inch. The physicality was intense. Technical fouls were handed out like candy. Tempers flared on both sides. The game was a battle of wills. Every possession was a tug of war. The lead changed hands multiple times. The game was headed for a dramatic finish. Section 7. Rockets' late-game woes continue. As the clock ticked down, the Rockets found themselves in familiar territory. They had struggled to close out games throughout the series. Pressure mounted with each passing second. Turnovers plagued the Rockets in the final minutes. They couldn't convert crucial baskets. Their late-game execution was lacking. The Warriors capitalized on the Rockets' mistakes. They hit big shots down the stretch. Their experience and composure shone through. The Rockets' late-game woes proved costly once again. They let another winnable game slip away. Their frustration was evident. Section 8. Officiating controversies add fuel to the fire. The officiating in Game 4 was far from perfect. Several calls were questionable. Both teams felt the brunt of the inconsistency. The shot clock malfunction added to the controversy. It raised questions about the officials' awareness. The game felt disjointed at times. The officiating controversies fueled the fire of an already intense game. They added to the emotional roller coaster. Despite the officiating woes, both teams had to play through it. The focus shifted back to the court, but the officiating remained a point of contention. Section 9. What lies ahead, implications and predictions. The Warriors' victory in Game 4 had major implications. This win not only boosted their morale but also put them in a very advantageous position. The energy in the stadium was electric, with fans roaring in approval and players feeding off that energy. They now had a commanding 3-1 lead in the series. This lead gave them a significant cushion, allowing them to play with more freedom and less pressure. The team huddled together, knowing they were just one step away from advancing. They were one win away from the next round. The locker room was filled with excitement and anticipation. Players were already visualizing their path to the championship, each one determined to give their best in the upcoming games. The Rockets, on the other hand, were on the brink of elimination. The mood in their camp was somber. They knew the uphill battle they faced, and the pressure was mounting. Fans looked on with a mix of hope and despair, praying for a miracle. They needed to win 3 straight games to advance. This was no small feat, especially against a team as formidable as the Warriors. The coach gathered the team, delivering a passionate speech to reignite their fighting spirit. The odds were stacked against them. Every player knew the gravity of the situation. The scoreboard was a constant reminder of the challenge ahead, and the stress was palpable. Yet, there was a glimmer of determination in their eyes. The Warriors had regained control of the series. Their practices were intense, and their confidence was soaring. They knew they had the upper hand and were determined to capitalize on it. The team was united, each player pushing the other to be better. They were playing with confidence and swagger. Every move on the court was calculated, and their synergy was unmatched. The coach's strategies were paying off, and the players executed them to perfection. Their championship pedigree was on full display. The memories of past victories fueled their current performance. They played like champions with a clear vision of what they wanted to achieve. The Rockets, however, were a proud team. They had a legacy of their own and were not ready to bow out just yet. The coach's motivational speeches were aimed at reigniting the fire within each player. They wouldn't go down without a fight. Every game was a battle, and the Rockets were ready to give it their all. The intensity on the court was palpable, with players diving for every loose ball and contesting every shot. But the Warriors were the clear favorites. Their dominance was evident in every aspect of the game. From their strategic plays to their individual brilliance, they were a force to be reckoned with. The series was far from over, but the Warriors were in the driver's seat. The next few games would be crucial, and both teams knew it. The stage was set for an epic showdown, with everything on the line.